Mainlanders, it's Feorie Frimon with Operation Mainland, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a new project that I'm working on called the Lunaris Hotel. This is what I am calling event rentals. So this would be not long-term rentals where a resident would go and purchase a home and furnish it and put all their stuff in it and all of that. This would be a temporary rental situation where a resident might come and just need the space for a very small amount of time, sort of like a hotel. The idea here is that residents might come with like their significant other and spend some time in the hotel room like a honeymoon or date night or whatever. It's none of my business what they do up in that hotel room.
Hey, how you doing?
This is how I set it up and why I decided to set it up the way that I did. So as you can see, I have used the Abyss Rendezvous Skybox. I love Abyss, obviously, and as you can see here, the mesh is amazing and it looks just like a hotel room set in old London. We got Big Ben in the background. I've got a security eye and a teleporter down to the main lobby set in there. All of my skyboxes are above 1,500 square feet, or not square feet, but 1,500 square meters. The reason that I've done this is so if somebody has their draw distance up to a maximum, which is 1024, they will not see any of my skyboxes. So the lowest skybox here is the lobby, and I've got that set at 1,500. So even if you're standing on the road and you're maxed out because you have a super powerful Superman computer, then you will not see my skyboxes for the hotel from the ground. And I'm gonna actually show you that here. If I come on down to the ground, you can see that this is just a really standard parcel. This is not one of my roadside parcels or anything like that. It's in a moderate sim called Lunaris. And you can see here that I have put some basic cypress trees and some palm trees and some grass to make sure that the plot on the ground level doesn't look really boring and just like sad abandoned land. I always do this if I'm doing a skybox project in the air because I like to try to make sure that my mainland looks nice on the bottom as well, because not everybody's flying up in the air and not everybody is using the hotel. Sometimes people are just driving on the ground or running through, and I like to give them a little oasis down at the bottom so that they can, use to take pictures or, just kind of like brightens the area so it doesn't look like dead land. You can see here that I'm really close to the water, so that's why I decided to use palm trees because it should be kind of, beachy or whatever. So when I started decorating the lobby, I set up basic mesh letters for the hotel name and use some general decor from one of my favorite stores called Soy. I love Soy. I don't even know if this builder is still around. If you're still around, hooray, Soy, this is your plug. So please keep making cool stuff. I just like their stuff because it looks a little bit different than what you can find out there. And I think it's kind of, it's just unique. So I really enjoy using Soy items inside my public spaces because, it just kind of gives it a different look. So what I'm doing here is I'm decorating a simple lobby for my residents when they first teleport in to the landing area of the Lunaris Hotel. You can see I'm kind of particular about like things being centered and the way that they look and why I have them here. And I'm also big into plants, so I like to have a lot of plants in my area because I think it makes everything look a little bit more alive. I love that fluffy ottoman. I have a little mesh person up at the front because I like animesh people, and I think it makes them, it makes the place looks a little bit more lived in. And then I have a bell up at the front there that if you were to click the bell and it would summon me to let me know that you might need help. And then over here, this is when I'm going to start setting the ground teleporters up to get to my different spots. So you might remember from my previous rental videos that I use low technology products. And part of the reason I do that is because everything is so easy and it's not laggy. So when you're working with mainland parcels, it's good to try to eliminate as many lag possibilities as you possibly can. And I think that Low Industries really does this. I got a new one when I pulled it out to put it in there, and I just kind of quickly skimmed over everything to see if there was, some new feature that I might have missed. And then I popped over to her website to double check. I mentioned to her that it might be kind of cool if she could mix her gift card ability to work with the teleporters, so I could sell gift cards to the hotel so people could give them at SL weddings and they could come here. And she thought that was a cool idea and that she might add it moving forward as a feature request. So I thought that was cool. All right, and this is where I'm putting the base teleporters that you would pay to actually rent the space. And so I had those set up as buttons, and then I came back to kind of tweak the office area to make sure it looked good, and it was, my bell was very evident and visible. And then you teleport in on the other side of the lobby. So sometimes people might not necessarily know where to go. So I have this general arrow texture that I turn and make full bright. So it's super bright regardless of the day or time they're looking at it. And I just put a couple there to kind of point them in the direction that I want them to go. And I make them phantoms so you can walk over them and it doesn't mess you up. So yeah, I put a couple of arrows to kind of direct my traffic the way that I want them to go. All right, so now I'm going to come up to my different rooms, and this is where I have to grab the teleport code. Or actually, I have to put another part of the teleporter. So there's one at the bottom and there's one at the top. And the one at the top has a teleport code that you put in the one at the bottom so it knows how to connect everything. And this code also goes with the security eye. And the security eye is what is used to keep people out of the general distance of, that hotel room so you can have some privacy. And so I put the security eye in there that you can see, and I try to put them in some place that you would definitely see them and that they're easy to access. And so the door of the hotel room seems to work great. And then I can configure everything to make it say what I want it to, or to allow certain people in, and, how often it should scan, and where to eject them if it scans somebody that's not supposed to be there. And then because I have the prims on this particular land deeded to a group, I had to make sure that all of the prims, including the security eye, were deeded to a group as well, so that the scripts would work properly. And you can see I've got a note card going with my teleport codes for the different rooms, so that way when I pop back down to the lobby to update the teleporters down there, I can put the right code for the right room, and it will update appropriately. So I won't show you guys me doing this for every single hotel room, but at the end I got back down to the lobby, and then I had to put those codes into each teleporter. So you can see me updating the note card associated with the teleporter by putting the right code there, and then naming them whatever they needed to be named, and setting my total numbers of what needs to be paid. And then I took a break to have a look real quick at my about land information and updated my keywords. You have to be really careful about the types of keywords that you use in moderate lands. So some people go, Fee, why didn't you put this hotel in an adult sim? I have actually tested this before and done it in an adult sim, and I got less. I didn't get very many rentals there. And part of it has to do with people are going to an animation engine like a bed in an adult sim for one reason, and I don't think I have to fill in the holes here about what people are doing. And there's a lot of places that they can do this for free in Second Life. So nobody wants to pay me 50 linden to come use, a bed in a hotel room to do their thing. So when you set up a hotel room or something like that in a moderate as a business, you have to be careful about the keywords you use, because you can't use things that are overly adult. So I use things like cuddle, romance, honeymoon, love, those types of things that are more PG versus R-rated. And that's just to make sure that you do attract interested parties to people that want to come and look at this event space, but you aren't necessarily attracting people that only have one thing in mind when they come to the hotel room.
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo.
Well, and then the next thing I did was I set my landing area for where I wanted them to be able to land, and I set all of my options to where things would be restricted to this parcel, so my neighbors aren't listening to people talk or anything like that. And then I also updated the name to reflect how much the rentals are going to be and that kind of stuff. When I started doing this, I realized I don't have a logo for the hotel, so I had to come up with something. Then I used one of my favorite tools called Canva, and just kind of put together something really quick. I went for, light and airy, because I was going to do something darker and more flashy for the lofts, which would be more permanent rentals. And I'll talk to you guys about that one a little bit later. But yeah, so I just did a little Lunaris Hotel thing, and then I could use this as my logo for the land, as well as any images like the greeter or anything like that I might need them for later. So then I uploaded it for 10 Linden to my inventory, and then that way I can put that inside my land detail information and then set it for available in search and put it on the appropriate textures for stuff there. I added the Operation Mainland link there in case people were to look at media or something on my hotel, and so it would show my YouTube channel as kind of like a little marketing effort. Added a couple of more keywords like rent, rentals, suite, you know, that kind of stuff. Resort, maybe. You got to play with keywords to find the ones that work. And then, interestingly enough, I had 2 rentals within 24 hours right after that. I think I just got lucky to be able to do those. As far as marketing goes, I put a sign down at the bottom of my land, of my parcel that's very close by. It's actually in Lunaris for Lunaris Lofts. It's roadside. So I put a little attractive sign that's not too obnoxious there so anybody riding pods or driving by could see it. And then I also listed it on the SL Marketplace with a general listing so that interested people could maybe stumble across it if they typed in something like hotel or whatever, in case instead they don't want to buy an entire hotel room or buy a skybox or buy something like that, they could just use one that I'm offering to them for a very small fee. And that's what I've got going on for general marketing for the Lunaris Hotel. So if you are interested in just, you know, a different space to spend some time with your significant other, then come on by. It's pretty cheap to use for the evening. You know, please feel free to tell your friends. And then I will give you guys an update later on to talk to you a little bit more about how the Lunaris Hotel is doing and whether or not it seemed to make enough money to justify the space that it's taking up on the mainland. Thanks for watching this video. And if you are interested in following more of Operation Mainland's videos moving forward, please like this video and subscribe. Thanks again.